Happy New Year, January 1st. Look where I am. Oh, I've been off work for about a week and a half. It's been great. We had the flu at our house. I hope all of you, if you had it, you came through okay. And if you didn't have it, fingers crossed you don't get it. It was not fun. But we came through. We came through Christmas. Yay. We came through New Year's. Yay. Little guy was so happy he got to stay up until 9 o'clock. That's all I could do. So anyway, what I've got for you today, not cement. I hope you're not too disappointed. With our life change and little guy being with us, I'm not quite all the way to the cement work yet. Sometimes I have to drop what I'm doing, go take care of some needs, and cement doesn't wait. So I've got a new little project I'm doing right now. I just absolutely fell in love with it. I was watching a lady on Pinterest, and she was making these little dolls. However, like all of you out there, when we see something that we like, we tweak it, we stretch it, we move it, we do some other things with it. But what she was doing, she was making some little dolls. I'll put the link to her video in the description here. But she was making some little dolls using leftover toilet paper tubes and old blue jeans. And they were like little gnome girl dolls. Little girl gnome. That's it. Girl gnome dolls. And I thought those were really cute. However, I thought, oh, I think I would like to have faces on mine. And so I did some tweaking and I made some prototypes. Here is my first one. This is more closely to what she was making. So the toilet paper tubes are here in her body. This is a foam cone. I'm going to show you all of this later. But her little head, this is a styrofoam ball wrapped in craft foam. So I'll show you how I did that. It's not a new technique. It's a pretty old one, new to me. I've just kind of figured out how to do it. I love the shoes. Look at that. Also styrofoam wrapped in the foam. And this lady made little overalls out of the blue jeans. So this one's really cute. I really liked her. That's my first one. My second one, I decided the other thing the lady was using that I absolutely loved was the Dollar Tree socks, the little fuzzy socks, not the slippers with the gripper thingies, just the socks. So she was using that to make these dolls with. It's pretty forgiving. She was gluing all of her pieces together, and so it's pretty forgiving in that way because of the puff of the fabric. The other thing that she was doing was she was just rolling the sock. She would cut the sock and rolling it and then just attaching that, and so the arms were just floppy. I can't have that. So I put some craft wire through the styrofoam body. And so now my arms are posable. So we're going to be able to pose those. They can give hugs and all kinds of things like that. So there's her. I'm going to show you and we'll go slowly through the steps. And as usual, my videos are going to be too long, especially for this one. It's got some steps, but I love these. Here's my second one. It was a penguin sock. So anyway, same thing, the shoes and the pants, and I didn't do overalls. I just did the sock and attached the legs to. This one is a little more wobbly because all she's done is glued the toilet paper tube right to this sock that's over the cone, and so she's quite wobbly, although I really do like her. I think don't you just love that face? Anyway, here's one. My improvements that I think I've made is I've also made it so her head can turn. So the original doll, the head is glued on. On this one, I put a dowel through the styrofoam and through the styrofoam. And so now her head can turn. She has posable arms. I'm liking this one. I also put a dowel rod from the styrofoam to the styrofoam. And so no wobble. There we go. So it's taken me 3 to figure out. There she goes. It's taken me 3 to figure out how I would want to do this project. I'm getting ready to do number 4, in which I'm doing, again, one more tweak. So let's see. My first tweak was adding the wire and the head on that one. My second was making the movable head. And now my third was making it more stable with the dowel rod from the foot to the body. Like doing it like that. And so this is pretty sturdy. I like her. I like how she looks. I didn't use blue jeans here. I just used some fabric. So again, you can stretch your imagination. The one I'm going to do now is one more tweak. I'm actually going to sew because I am a seamstress. I have had many lives. Be interesting to know what your lives were also. Yeah, I started my work life out in fast food like most people do. Actually, I did not. My very first job was working at what was it? It was actually called Cardinal Scale, and they did electronic scales for the big trucks. And so I actually designed, this sounds really way more than it was, but I actually designed the circuit boards that went inside of those. 18 out of high school. I knew a fella that worked there, and so he got me a job. So that's what they did with me. And then I went into some fast food for a minute. I was a cake decorator. I worked at a grocery store, learned some cake decorating. I worked at the Baskin Robbins, learned some cake decorating. And then I actually went to work for a bakery, and I worked there for about, I think, 11 years, doing cakes. And so I did that for a long time. I worked at a florist for a little while. I had my own sewing shop, so my own seamstress shop. I did that for a while. Had my own Native American leather and supply, where we did jewelry and sold leather and Native American supplies. Did that for a little while. I've done a lot, and now I work in behavioral health, and I train people, and it's just great. And now here I am. I'm doing this too. So several. I don't know, my flippity gibbet. What do I want to be when I grow up? One day I might grow up. So anyway, where was I at again? It's been a while since I've talked with you guys. I just have so much to say. So anyway, but this new one I'm going to make, I am going to sew her clothing. I think if I do that, with hot glue, you got kind of get stiff and it's not very fluffy and smooth. And so I thought, hot glue's very quick. I like that. But you want to go with a nice finished product too. And so I'm going to go ahead and just do some quick hand stitching when I go ahead and put the sleeves on. I'll show you all of these things. I'm going to actually sew the little pant legs here. They're just tubes, and I'll just sew the inseam right up on my sewing machine. And then it'll just look a little bit more finished, I think, and kind of look nice. So that's my number 5 tweak, I think, is actually sewing the fabric and doing those things. However, if you're just wanting to have something fun and you're really, really good with hot glue, because I'm not, I'm messy, the hot glue is great. I mean, it looks nice. It's just kind of crusty here, and you can kind of see it on the inseam here, but that's because I'm probably messy and you're not. So maybe you want to use the hot glue. All right. So that's an introduction to these little dolls that I'm really loving. I went on Pinterest and found a cute face I liked. And so that's the face I've been using. And so I'm going to show you all of the supplies we need to get started. I'm going to show you how to stretch the foam. I'm going to show you a few things. You may or may not like this video because it's not cement, but it's what I can do right now, because if little guy hollers or he has a moment, because sometimes he will have little moments that require grandma to give some little soothing attention to, I can dash off and come back, and she's not going to go anywhere. So this is what we're doing for my life right now. Okay. So bear with me, be patient with me, come along with me on this little journey of mine. And let's see if we can learn some fun things together. Okay. Because this is new for me. I just only been doing this. I've done 2 on one day, and so I guess I've only been doing this about 2 days now. But I went to the craft stores and I bought all the stuff to do it. That's what I do. All right, here we go. Okay, so to get started on our little doll, I'm going to show you the size of foam balls. These dolls that I'm making are 12 inches tall. Okay, so you're going to have your toilet paper rolls. Make everybody save them for you now. I know now my sisters will be bringing me their toilet paper rolls. So you need two, one for each leg. And then you need to have, for the head, these used to be 3-inch balls, but as everything has shrunk, right? They're the 2.8-inch styrofoam balls. And this, you're going to need one for the head. So, there you go. I got mine at the Dollar Tree. You can also probably find them at Michael's and Hobby Lobby, okay? And then you will need one of a 2.4 inch. I'm going to split that in half, and that's the shoes. Okay, so you need one 2.4 styrofoam ball. One 2.8, one 2.4, and you will need a 6.9 inch styrofoam cone. Also got those at the Dollar Tree. So a cone that is 6.9 inches. And then I cut a couple of inches off the top. Okay, just gonna take that right off. All right, so those are the styrofoam tools you'll need. All right, you will also need to have some craft foam. Right there. Silly Winks craft foam. And it comes, when I was at the craft store, it comes in 2 thicknesses. So you want the thinner. So if I put my glasses on, let's see, doesn't give a millimeter. But it's the thinner, all right? It's the thinner, and this was 99 cents, and you're going to get probably 6 little heads out of that. So that's pretty good. So your craft sheet, that's your flesh color, and then I've got black and white for my shoes. Actually, for this little doll I'm going to do next, I'm very excited. Woo! These tennis shoes are going to be sparkly red. Somebody who's been around with me for a little while knows I do love my bling. So, all right. So we're going to get started. I want to show you, here is the little head that I'm going to build my doll around. I have already stretched the foam over the styrofoam ball for this one. And so this will stick right into there. That's her body. I just like leave a little bit of color on it. Okay, so that's her face. We'll put her face there. Her hair will cover, of course, all of the back side. And so you just need to make sure that you get all of the face portion very smooth. This stuff is all going to be hidden, so that'll be okay. All right, so that's what we're going to do right now. And this is a little bit of a process, everybody. Patience. It just takes a little bit. But there's 2 tools you could choose to use. Now, I've seen people on Pinterest using an old flat iron, right? So this is a smaller one. The ones that most people are using are a little bit longer, okay? But this is what I had left over because I don't do that to my hair anymore. And so, or I've got my heat gun. Okay, just my craft heat gun. I like using this better. It's a little quicker, and you all know me. Quick. Got to get it done fast. All right, so you'll see me use this. It's going to be noisy, sorry. All right, and of course, your hot glue gun for those portions that we will glue together. All right, so let's go ahead. I'm going to show you how to finagle this head. It is, the head and the shoes are the trickiest part. So if you do that first, I can put a whole one of these dolls together, including the face, in just about 2.5 to 3 hours, closer to the 3-hour mark. But that's not bad for a cutie little doll like that. So we're going to go ahead and soften up our foam, okay? And all you got to do is turn this on. I'm turning it on high, and I'm just going to hold it around it until it starts to, here we go, until it starts to soften. You'll see it start to go limp. There we go. Don't hold it in one place too long. It will burn it. Then I'm going to flip it over, do the other side. This is where if you use the flat iron, it gets hot on both sides at the same time. I'm going to pay close attention, especially here in the center, because that's where it's got to wrap around that ball. All right, here we go. It's pretty limpy. Now we're going to stick this ball in it and just stretch it around. And you're only going to get it so far at your first pull. Don't pull too hard. Guess what happens? Put a hole in it. How do I know? So I've started. You'll see I've just started. I've seen the ladies on Pinterest get this thing hot, and they stretch it right down first try. I haven't had success. More practice, I think. So, but I'm getting there. So I'm just going to keep warming this up and stretching it around as I go. Okay, it's warm enough now. See how it's just starting to stretch around now, see? Pretty slick how that works. And you're just wanting it to get as smooth as you can so you don't have any wrinkles showing in the face like these. All right. I hope everybody out there is doing well. Trying some new art mediums yourself, right? Let's not get too stagnant in our comfort zone. What else can we learn? I'm forced to learn something new because I must create. I'm compelled. It's been awful, right? To try to figure out what can I do that I can just drop and run around. And I found some things. So I might be showing you some other new things too that I'm doing. But it's always good to try something new, learn something new as we're doing our art, and we can share with each other. All right, wonderful. This is getting right around there. Love it. Still needs a little more stretching. You stretch it and hold it, because as it cools, then it'll stay where you put it. Again, if you stretch it too tight, it will put a hole in it, and then you're going, oh dang, I have to start again. My lemonade stains. Grandson wanted some lemonade this afternoon, so he went out onto the tree and picked some lemons. Papa helped him to juice the lemons, and they made some lemonade, and I dribbled some on my shirt, so it's a little damp, but I think I'll be okay. All right. So here we go. There we go. It's wonderful. All right. That's stretched around there pretty good. Now we'll come back in and I'm going to cut off all of this extra. And then I'll hot glue the edges down. And we just hot glue one little section at a time. Hold it, let it set. I had some of those silicone finger protectors. I've misplaced, well, you know, it comes in a package of 2, and I've misplaced 4 already. If I'd ever learned to put things away. I have coached my grandson to know that this, what we have here going on in the art room here, it is not a mess. He loves that his Lego table is not a mess. His Lego table has creative residue on it. This is creative residue. I love shaping and forming young minds. All right. Little hot glue in there. Let's hold that down. Still working out, trying to get as few wrinkles as possible. You know, I had such a treat just before Thanksgiving. It was just so fortuitous. As you know, you're all visiting with me here on my channel, and sometimes we will talk back and forth in the chat here on YouTube. I like to find out where you all are from. And it's just been so exciting because I have 2 subscribers that I've learned last year. Well, it's almost 2 years now. A friend, a subscriber that lives here in Mesa, and we have connected a few times. She's come to an art show that I hosted. I went to an art show that she's hosted. I gave her a class. It was so great. And then just before Thanksgiving, this past Thanksgiving, another friend here in Mesa, she's a new friend because she's a subscriber, and we decided to get together and meet and visit, and just such a darling lady. Everybody keep her in your prayers. She's got some health issues going on. And so I just love being able to meet all of you whenever and however I can. And I told my husband, I said, I just love knowing that there are more people out there like me. I am not the only goofy guy out here doing crazy stuff. So it was great to meet my new friends. So let me know where you are. If you're anywhere near the Phoenix Valley, let me know. It would be so fun to connect and get together and learn some new things from each other. All right. So as you can see, it's starting to get all glued down around the edges. This is the trickiest part of this whole doll. You just may say, Venna, no. No, I'm not going anywhere near that. But I'm telling you, for as cute as these dolls turn out, this is worth the trouble, or I wouldn't be doing it either. And what I think I'm going to love about these dolls is that they can be so easily personalized. You know, you can make the clothes, the color that is that person's favorite color. You can match the hair color. You can match the hairstyle. You know, there's just, and with accessories, the mind reels, right, of earrings and purses and bags. And I do have one I'm going to make my grandson. So you can make boys too. I just haven't done that yet. And so I'm going to make one for my grandson. He will freak out. So anyway, so that's why I really like these dolls. They don't take that much time. They are really cost effective to make. And so I don't know. I think I'm going to enjoy this little craft art creative outlet for a time until I know I can get back into my cement more regularly. So here we go. There she is. There's her head. Hair's going to cover that. And the little dowel. You want to make sure that when you stick your dowel rod in, this is where I'm going to choose. And you want the the dowel rod to go into the flesh part. So don't stick your dowel rod in here, because then you'll be able to see the styrofoam underneath the neck. So you want, on this little one right here, you can see I've got the foam goes all the way up the back of the head, and so you just don't see that. So that's what we want to do, is find the most perfect place, because her bangs are going to come way down here. So this could be the top of her head. Okay, so you're going to put that dowel right in there. So let me see. I always have to look where the fewest wrinkles, what's my best view, kind of like, what's my best view? My mother, she's just going to hit me one day. All right, and so here's where we're going to put it. Right there. Right in. Boom! We've made the decision. It's happened. All right, and now once you've made the decision, it's there. Because now you've got a hole. Be decisive. Own it. That is how you make the head. All right. That's just going to sit there now. I've got 2 heads. I have to make 2 dolls. Okay. So what we're going to do now is start the clothes. Okay. For our pants, they're there. For our pants, I've taken some old blue jeans. My grandson just he's such a sweet guy. He is a recycler. If he's not careful, he will become a hoarder, I'm sure. Because I have to periodically say, this is great, but we can't keep this, honey. Okay, we don't need this gum wrapper anymore. The gum is gone. But he loves that Grandma uses his old clothes that he's outgrown to do different things with. So anyway, so what I've got are his old blue jeans here. I've taken off 8 inches and I've created this tube. So this fabric was 8 inches wide and it fits around your toilet paper tube with a 1/4 inch seam allowance. Now here's where, remember, if you wanted to, you could just wrap that blue jean material around it and hot glue it on. Absolutely could do that. That's what I did here. I made sure that the seam of the blue jeans was on the outside because I liked that. You don't have to do that. You can just use the blue jeans, whatever part of it you want. But I on purpose chose the hem and the side seam because it just looked better. But I just hot glued. I turned it under and hot glued it. So that's what I did on this one. But I've decided for moving forward for the gifts, or if I choose to sell these later, I would want them to be a little more finished. And so I did sew that on my sewing machine. And so now I will just slide this right inside. Just like that. And you do want the jeans to cover the tube. Okay? You want maybe a nice 1/4 inch of blue jeans going above the edge of that toilet paper roll. Okay? And so that gives me just enough here to glue to this guy. Okay, so I've got a dowel rod here. It's just a 1/4 inch, so you could use any size you want to, but a 1/4 inch is stout enough because we're only going to be working with 6-inch pieces. So I'm just gonna, I've already measured and marked, so now I'm just cutting that off. 1/4 inch, you don't need any power tools or anything. So there's my 2 6-inch pieces of dowel rod that are going to go into the body here. I should have used first. I've got a pointy one here that I like to use initially. And now you'll see I'm putting these pretty close to the edge. I'm kind of angling them in like so. There we go. That way, I lost my styrofoam ball. This is my 2.4 styrofoam ball that is for my feet, and I'm just going to cut this in half. Does anybody else have a problem doing this? This looks like it's in half, but I will always have one just a hair smaller. Anybody got a way to know for sure when you're actually in half on a sphere? I can't ever quite get it. But, oh well. Do the best we can. There we go. Okay, so there you are. And that way, there's your skeleton right there. Okay. So when we put, and you'll hot glue those all of these dowels in once you decide everything is set just the way. So this way, now you've got your pants on there. Let me turn this one inside out, right side out, right side out. Where'd my other? Oh, there it is. All right. All right, and just right up to the top, you do want the toilet paper covered, roll covered. All right, just a little bit there. Perfect. That's what I like. Make sure your seams are in the right place. Just like that. We'll come back and we're going to work on these feet after a while, but right now, and then give your legs just a little squish so they're kind of ovally at the top. Okay, so now what we're going to do is just take our hot glue gun. Take off a little of this extra jean material. There. Take our hot glue gun and just run it right around the edge of this toilet paper tube and into those jeans, just like that. It's going to go right up here, and we want it there to come right to the edge of the styrofoam cone right here. Do the same with the other side. We've hot glued the legs onto the form here, body. I'm going to stand this up over here and work on now the shirt. So this is where your little fuzzy sock comes in. I had this really cute glitter one here that I liked. And the lady went ahead and she just kind of cut this at the heel here, like so. And now you can pull this over the top and you can glue this into place now, like that. And that covers all of your styrofoam all around here. Okay, so again, I've decided I'm going to stitch mine. So I'm going to just use a quick needle and thread and do a quick stitch around that to draw that up. And then I'll put my head on there. So just a needle and thread. It's not going to show. I'm going to just do this real quick. Or again, use your hot glue gun. I'm just going to do a quick running stitch all the way around here. And I'm using white. It's not going to show, but you know, if you're a seamstress and a little more persnickety than I am right now, you can use blue. But the blue is way over there in the drawer, and I have white on the needles. So that's what we're doing. So now if I just cinch that up, these are not my good sewing scissors. Those are in the house. But these are fabric scissors I do keep out here. And these are just regular crafter scissors because, you know, at one time I'm sure they were good scissors. All right. Now the shirt is on. Yay! There we go. Yay! Now, you can embellish that shirt any way you want to. I appliqued a little red heart on this one. So, you know, you could, if you have a patch for a favorite team or, you know, anything like that, you could make your own and, again, personalize it. So kind of fun. So now my arms, let's get our arms going here. I've just got some wire. I'm using aluminum craft wire because I have a lot of it, but you can use any wire that you can put through this body here. All right. So what we've got going on now, remember we did our head. And I'm going to find the center hole where I put that in before. And there we go. We're going to put a collar around here in just a minute. But anyway, with the rest of what we have, we're going to make the arms. But first we need to put the craft wire through. And so, did y'all know that your arms stretched out are as long as you are tall? If you didn't know that, go try it and see. All right, and so that's why I put the doll together, so I could make sure that I'm going to get my arms proportionately correct. Okay, so there we go. Got my craft wire. It's just aluminum craft wire, dead soft, very soft. There you go. And I'm just going to find that shoulder spot. Let me take this out first. And I'm going to put it just below the top of the foam cone, right through the sock, right through the foam, and hopefully it comes out in the right place. It's a little low. You know what just came to my mind? I should use a nice straight... Look, you all just helped me think. I'm going to find a, oh, this should do. A nice skewer. Because this will make my hole and it'll go straight through. Then I won't have to guess. Ah, look, I've been trying to fish that wire, which bends, right? Why do y'all hang out with me? Look at that. First shot through. Went right through just like it's supposed to. And now I'm going to follow it through with my daddy would be so proud of me right now. Look at that. We all just learned a new skill. I don't know. Maybe I just learned a new skill. There we go. Yay. There's our arms. I use little wooden beads. There we go. I use little wooden beads for the hands right here. That's all we're doing for the hands. I might later decide I want to spend more time and actually make hands, but at this present time I don't want to. So we're going to use wooden beads. So anyway, for these arms, what we need to do is take our sock. I'm going to cut this toe off. That's better. Use the right scissors, Vanna. All right. And then we're just going to cut this sock right up the center. Like so. This is now our arm. These are our arms. Now again, you can, what the lady did before is she just rolled it up and she hot glued it right here. And I'm doing the same. I'm just rolling it up, but I'm going to stitch it. And then I'm going to slide it up this wire and I'm going to stitch the shoulder. But you can glue the shoulder and you can glue this part as well. All right. And so while I go find my blue thread, which now I do need, I'll be right back. All right. Got my thread. So, yep, we're just going to roll this loosely, like so. And then I'm going to just do a quick stitch again. And again, these little fluffy socks are so forgiving. My stitches are not going to show, but it's going to be a nicer finished and softer than the hot glue. So that's why I'm taking a little extra time to stitch. And there we go. It's all stitched up there. Now I'm going to slide it up my arm, like so. I'm going to make sure that that seam that I just made is on the underneath side. And now I'm just going to do a quick stitch here. So again, this is where you could, again, hot glue this together. But it was, I couldn't do it well enough. And so I'm going to stitch it because my hot gluing skills are, I guess, less than my stitching skills. I don't know. My mom taught me how to sew when I was quite young. And it was just the hardest thing. You know, as some of you have followed me here for a time, you've heard me say precision is not my strong suit, right? Well, in sewing, you do kind of need to be precise. And it was so hard. And I would work and I would try to get those seams nice and straight. And eventually I did learn. But, oh, it was so hard to begin with. My mom would say, take it out and do it again. That's what I'm hearing in my head right now. Take it out and do it again. And I'm saying, Mama, you can't see the stitch? I'm not taking it out. Shh. Don't tell. And my grandmother, oh, my grandmother was a beautiful seamstress. Oh, I've seen some of the, 50s style, those prom dresses that she would make my mom and her sister. And, oh, they were just amazing. And my grandma would sew for me also. I went to visit her one summer and she actually made my swimming suit. And it was so cute. And anyway, she says, now, Vanna, the inside should look just as neat as the outside. She's right. However, I might not always be that good. I used to sew a lot for my girls when they were young. And my oldest, she she'd go to school and then she'd come home and she'd say, Mama, my friend wants one of these too. Can you make a vest like this for her? So sometimes I would. That's exciting when your kids like what you make. So I'm going to get that one on and then I'll come back. Okay. So we're going to put the, I've got you all stitched up here now. Put the arms on. Pants are done. We're moving right along here. We're going to put the hands on now. And what I've got is just a little wooden bead. And the whole, I'm sorry, the box I bought didn't really have each individual millimeter size. So I can't tell you how big this is. However, the hole needs to be big enough for whatever you've chosen to be in it double. Because what we're going to do right now is we need to bend over this wire. And I'm pinching it all the way closed. So it's nice and tight for this bead to go in on top. There we go. So it's super tight. And so I'm going to put some hot glue in there and then it will stay. Okay. Slide that right in there. Nice and tight. There we go. And I've got the hot glue that is coming out the end. I'm going to leave that there because it's going to set. I'm going to file it off and I'm just going to paint that to match the beads so it all looks together. Right. So that's how I do it. Somebody else's idea. If you have better ideas, please share with me. Okay. This is only my 4th doll. So somebody out there probably knows better than me how to do this. But I've loved seeing it and then making my own tweaks on it to make it my own. Pinch that a little more. Yes, I know. I am not using the correct. This is wire cutters. If I go too far, I'm going to cut that hand off. I should be using my flat-nosed pliers, but they're over there. I remind me more and more of my daddy. Oh my goodness. I used to think, Daddy, why don't you bring the toolbox over by where you are? Because, you know, he'd say, no, Ree, go get me, right? The pliers, the wrench. And in my brain, because you never said it out loud, no. In my brain, I'm going, why don't you bring the toolbox over with you? And now here I am. My tool is over there, and I'm over here. So that's okay. Me and Daddy, we'll get it figured out. My dad used to count my steps when I did chores. He would not want me wasting time going back and forth. And he would say, you know, if you don't like the job, which is okay, why in the world would you want it taking you twice as long to get it done? So, and he's right. So I learned to be a little bit more industrious in my steps, but my tool's still over there. All right, so there that is. I'm going to stitch around the wrists of my sweater here, so it just sits on top of my hands. And woohoo! Our next step are those shoes. I'm going to do the red shoes. All right, so I've stitched the little sleeves around and I cinched them up so that they don't come down below the hands. And now we can just pose. I love dolls. I do. Don't always like making dolls because, you know, they can be a little fussy and, you know, fiddly. But I like this one because I really love how they turn out. So, red sparkle shoes. She's going to have them. All right, so we're just going to take our foam that we cut in half earlier. I'm just going to kind of measure over how much do I need. So, cut myself a little square of this. We need 2 of them. I'm not going to give you the measurements here. You know, you just have to measure your own little ball. How does it work? Measure this ball. How does it work? You know, your toilet. I don't know. Are toilet paper roll tubes the same worldwide? Yeah, I don't know if those rolls are the same sizes or not. But so just kind of use your own supplies, and then you'll have to, you know, measure out your own stuff. But we're getting ready to do the glitter shoes. Very excited. So again, we're going to use the heat gun. Get it all soft. This is a little thinner than the face I was using, so this shouldn't take too long at all. Stretch it over our little guy. Oh, that's gonna be so stinking cute. Down here where you can see what I'm doing. I'm just stretching it. Stretching it. Get a little soft again. Stretching it. So stretch and hold. And as it cools off, it will take on the shape. This is way easier than the face color one. Much thinner. Now with our scissors, I lay my scissors right on top of that styrofoam, and so I'm going to be able to cut this right where I want it. There we go. Like so. Now we'll go back and we'll run some hot glue in there. So we need a sole, and I like to put a little white trim around there too. So again, we're going to use this time white craft foam. And I'll show you how we do that. And we'll finish this shoe. And then I'll make the other shoe. Alright, so first of all, we want to draw a circle. Now I do this after I cover. I don't want the my white to be the size of my styrofoam. I want it to be the size of my styrofoam and the red that I just put on here. You could do these shoes any color that you can get foam for. Okay, and then we want a strip. So I'm going over to my paper cutter so I cut a nice straight strip. And so I'm going to, here's my strip. We're going to glue the sole of the shoe on first. And we want it to be really flush with itself. So when the strip goes on, the strip will go right up to the bottom of that sole and cover. Right there too. So if I need to do any trimming, I'll do that after I get it glued into place. All right. Yep. Glue and hold. Now I can do some trimming. I want that to be just the same size. There we go. I'm going to run my hot glue right on the seam there, a little at a time. And I'm going to adjust because I want that to meet just like that. Yay! All right, and then I will cut this. I cut it just a little bit longer, just a little millimeter longer, so I can push it in and it butts right up against it, so you can't hardly see your seam. There we go. One complete. Let's see what it looks like, shall we? We have to punch our hole. Yay! Red sparkly shoes! All right, I'm going to do... Just does not take much to make me happy. All right, we've got both of the shoes on. Everything's here. Now we're going to put the head on and attach the hair. The hair is really easy. We're just going to use some yarn wrapped 50 times. It's what I liked. I think the other lady only did it about 20, 25, 30 times, but I want fuller hair. So I'm going to wrap this about 50 times to make some hair for this little doll here, and then we're going to do the face. So I'm just going to move forward. Probably won't talk to you too much while I get the rest of this done, okay? I'll tell you what kind of paints I'm using as I'm using them for the face, and then we're just going to keep going, okay? As I mentioned, we are going to put a collar around here. Like that. So she's got a nice little turtleneck. On all the other dolls, I glued everything. This time I am I'm sewing it all. Just my preference is either. So I'm just going to roll this a little bit. I'll just do a quick stitch. Perfect. Yay. All right. Hair. The hair color. Okay, I've got it wrapped 50 times around my clipboard. Now I'm going to tie it off here. So I wrapped the hair, the yarn, around the clipboard, like I said, and tied it off. I'm going to put the hair right on top. She's going to have long hair like that one. So I'm going to put it right on top, and that's where I'm going to glue it. So where's my hot glue? Right there. Just like that. Turn around to the back. Now this is where you get to make a decision. You can make any hat, any kind of a hat. This one, you know, it's got a little stocking hat. This one, I put a headband on, and I put on some little fun buttons on there that matched her little heart. So you figure out. You might even get pretty clever. I'm thinking of how can I make a little ball cap, right? Something like that. On this one, I'm going to just go ahead and do a, oh, what am I going to do? I think I'll do a headband on this one too that matches. So I've got another one of these socks. You could make the headband really out of anything. Maybe I should wonder, would this make a good headband? There we go. We're experimenting. Matches our shoes. Something like that. I think so. I like that. Okay. We're going to put the face on this little girl here. So what I like to do, and this is my template, okay? These little tiny bathroom drinking cups seem to be just the right size for what I want to do. So as you notice, their smiles, and you can make their faces look whatever you like, but I like. So their smiles come way down here on the bottom of their chin, right? So this little drinking cup makes that just the right size and the right location. So I put the cup on first to get that bottom mark where I want it. Right down there. And then I just do a quick little press, and it's going to make a quick indent so I can see that line. That indent will disappear, but I want my nose to be right at the top of that circle. And then I'm going to take my black marker, and just under the nose is where I'm going to start my smile. Just stay right on that little paper cup indent and we'll be fine. Now on this side, there's a little heart. So I'm going to go ahead and put that in. And we'll put the nose in there. And then we'll go ahead and do the eyes. I'm going to pencil those in first. So like they're just where I want them. And that they're the same size. Perfect. So again, I'm going to outline that. Just like that. Let's see, I think I'm going to make it just a little bigger. There we go. Yes. And then I have some acrylic markers. So I've got paint markers and I've got acrylic markers. I keep wanting to get some Posca, but a little pricey for me. So this is what we're going to use. Got my red paint marker to paint in my heart. These dry very quickly. And I need my black marker to paint in my eyes. There we go. And she's done. Thanks so much for joining me. Woo! We're back. Hopefully some cement creations will be forthcoming pretty soon. I don't know, but we'll keep creating, and the idea is I can get out here and do some things. I've got a little setup over there for my grandson so he can come out and do some things too. That's always fun. He's very creative too. So thank you for sharing your time with me. Thank you for all of you for messaging me and encouraging me and best wishing me. All of those things. And thank you so much for enjoying the videos. I do enjoy making things, and I do enjoy sharing how I've made them. Please come up with your own ideas. Share those ideas with me, okay? Thanks so much. Happy New Year.